Hello, it's another tutorial video for our friend Zsaqwes8 over at Learn Dota 2. He, let's see, quickly go over this. He says MRI's been going down a lot, he's really been struggling, and he says he usually seems to do well, but, I could check it out and see if there's any fundamentals he's missing. So, in this game, you have a really, really good game. 22, 8, and 3. As a little warning, I am going to try and be a little quicker about this video. I have a lot of stuff to do. I have like a math test in 8 hours I have to study a lot for, and I still have to sleep. I'm also not the best Troll Warlord player, and by that I mean I've only played like 3 to 5 games of the hero. But some of the fundamental things about carrying don't change from hero to hero, so I'm sure I'll be able to give you some advice, regardless of what hero you are. One of the reasons for that is a lot of the things don't change about carrying. One of the things I won't be able to point out is like differences in skill builds and stuff of that nature, and little things like the tricks when you're carrying I won't be able to really point to as much. So you can look to like other tutorial videos or watch pro players play the hero. I hated Troll Warlord. I was an AM picker, and Troll Warlord was like the bane of my existence up there with Phantom Assassin. So it's an okay start. You probably want to start with the Ring of Protection. You don't need to come with the Wraith Band recipe. I know his damage has been nerfed, but like I'm such a proponent of the Ring of Protection starts on pretty much any hero. Like double Tango, Ring of Protection. You buy a Stout Shield in the side shop, finish a Poor Man's Shield, and get a Bassi. A Bassi is a huge part, particularly for such a low-end hero, and Avenge, because it increases the mana regen of both of you, and allows your support to trade better with people. So that's a huge thing. I don't think this start is particularly optimal. I just wouldn't even start with the branches. Another alternative I do on like ranged heroes sometimes is Iron Branch, Circlet, Tango, Ring of Protection, so you can finish a Wand in the side shot, and a Bassi, which you'll have the money for. Your Avenge is an idiot here. When she walked up to do, you always want to harass from the side. I'll try and pause and talk about this. You always want to harass from the side outside of creep aggro. When you walk up to harass an enemy laner, you're going to draw the aggro and screw with the creeps. You always want to harass them from this area, which is like more than 500 range outside of the creeps, so you don't aggro them. LC, probably not going to have like the greatest success zoning them, but you know, it can't hurt to try. Oh, that is also terrible too. She leveled her aura first, which is going to push your creep wave, because you see all the creeps are getting bonus damage. It's very bad. So your lane's going to permanently push as long as she's here. That's unfortunate. Not much you can do about that, so we'll just look at your mechanics. You definitely want to get like a shield at some point too. I know he's like a ranged hero too, but you're gonna be in melee form for a lot of your trading, and like that right there, you're in melee form for that, and you're gonna tank some creeps. So when you go for this trade, you're gonna tank some creeps, and the Stout Shield gives you huge returns when you're trying to trade a creep wave with an enemy, and that's once again it's for melees. So right here, the creeps start attacking you a little bit. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was in terms of how much damage you took. But you still took more than you would have had you had the Stout Shield. The Stout Shield helps a ton against creeps. Any melee hero, it's pretty much a requirement for when you're carrying. Otherwise, you'll take way too much damage. So one thing I do know about this hero in terms of farming patterns, once you have like a few levels of your whirling axes and like some fervor, you can jungle really, really quickly. What you do is you just wanna, and like even if this means the offlaner gets more, like who gives a shit? If you're a better player, it's better if you get more than if he gets some and you get way more, because the farther you are ahead, the better you'll be able to carry the game. And from the looks of this game, that you're the only person who mattered in it. So once you have like your whirling axes kind of maxed, you want to go to this camp, use your whirling, or you don't even need a max, you just need a couple levels, because the blind, you don't take a lot of damage from creeps, so you can get like a Poor Man's Shield, run over here, blinding axes it, kill the creeps, and then come back to lane, and then you push it to the tower, and then go back and farm the other camp, and then every minute you should be farming out both of these camps and pushing the wave to the tower. When you're doing that, you turn a Bassi on, so the wave pushes even harder. Because the way you want it to work is like your creeps get some tower shots, or if he's sticking around here, he'll get some creeps. In pubs, like sometimes you want to control a lane to like deny people stuff. In pubs, just get as far ahead as you possibly can, even if that means their offlaner gets a little more. If you're really convinced you're a better player, then it's probably worth doing that. Not being conservative, because like denying this guy experience and gold and shit means something when your team's good and is able to capitalize on that guy being bad. If you don't trust your team, which you shouldn't in pubs, then don't give a shit about what the offlaner gets. As long as him getting stuff results in you getting more, if that makes sense. Okay, you're just running around in circles here. You're taking unnecessary damage. Oh, you might get a kill though. Oh, she had a wave of terror. Maybe not. That might have been bold anyway. No boots. No shit boots. Okay, you probably weren't gonna get that kill. But you definitely should have flown out a bast to yourself and probably a wand, because this guy's spamming spells. So you should buy a stick from here, because this Legion's been dropping. I think I saw at least like 3 overwhelming odds, and he's probably used press the attack when I wasn't paying attention. So having a stick against any laner who spams, really useful, because it's basically free regen for 200 gold on an item you want anyway. Because I think with Troll you want a stat stack, because his int gain is like the worst in Dota. It's definitely up there, but it isn't the actual worst. So like right now, since you have this, I don't think you need to level that more right now. I don't think it really matters that much. Gives you a little more move speed, bash duration. Yeah, that's for like man fighting. You can get more fervor or more whirling axes. Well, this will let you get more kills, I think, and that'll let you jungle more effectively. I know some pros used to do like only 1 or 2 levels in this and they get stats. It's probably okay. It's a blind, like a 4, 5, or 6 second blind, like 5 to 7 seconds. It's not really the biggest deal. And you're just talking in terms of the nuke, and the nuke scaling's not that great. But in terms of clearing jungle stacks, it's a lot nicer, and the mana cost doesn't increase. That's rough. Wow, let's talking about random stuff when we missed what happened here. Okay, see, I think you're a little too far right there. So if you're kind of paying attention right now, you should notice like their mid's missing. I don't know for how long he's been missing, or if anyone called it. And I think you... Yeah, that's rough. So I didn't see the context, if your mid called it, or if you saw her get the rune. She probably got the top rune, she went from like bottom to top with that invis. That'd be kind of weird. She could run back to base with it. I'm not 100%. I couldn't fully see it. But when in doubt, just be careful. Like, you're a troll warlord, just go back and jungle in the woods. It's no big deal. Your team actually gets... Well, you got mid pudge. That just generally sucks. Sweet, and you're gonna get a kill for it. Good job. So yeah, when in doubt, just back up to the woods. I don't, like I said, I can't see the speech. I don't know if there was a call for that, but you should also try and have like really good map awareness. Like that's probably one of the biggest things as a carry is just not dying. Not dying is like one of the most important things, is to make them waste their time coming to deal with you and then you not dying. So if you had some inclination, then that might have been good. Some things you can't avoid, and that's just, you know, the nature of the beast. Like a smoke gank you're not going to see run through your ward. A really quick rotation you might not necessarily catch on to. Nice kill. Another thing that, in this case, it's not the most relevant thing, but you don't want to overcommit for kills. Also, you still don't have a poor man's shield or a wand. I don't know why you get the branches if you're not going to buy a wand. They're not like terrible, but on Troll Warlord you want a wand. They have spamming heroes. There's no reason not to like stack stats. But what I was going to say is, like when you're a carry, you don't want to overextend for kills. In that case, it wasn't overextension. You didn't get low. You didn't dive a tower. It didn't matter. But like, let's say you got down to like 300 HP to get that kill. It would mean you couldn't feel safe in this lane anymore, and you have to either go back to base, which slows your farm. It's rough. Nice, good job. Yeah, so you do either have to run back to base and heal, and you could probably maybe jungle a camp or 2 on the way back, just for the sake of being efficient. But you couldn't stick around the lane. So just be careful not to overcommit. Like kicking the off laner out of lane, even if you don't kill him, gives you 2 minutes of free farm and denies him a bunch. So the 300 gold you'll get for a kill and the like negligible experience isn't worth a minute and a half, 2 minutes out of lane, which is equivalent to like 700 to 1,000 gold, depending on if you're abusing the jungle or not. Because each creep wave is worth like 200, 250 gold. Yeah, this is stupid. That's their mid and their offlaner. Herald, you're gonna get blades almost certainly up. This guy, he's level 7, so you should know he has duel. You just showing here is really dangerous. And like, you could try and like do it with your range, just because if you don't get caught in the duel or you don't get caught in a blind LSA, you'll probably be fine. But like, you walked up way too far and got really greedy. You're also doing it from an awkward angle, which definitely didn't help. Yeah, because that was, I'm not crazy, right? That was their mid, right? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so the Lina and them, like at that point you just retreat into the jungle. There's like no reason, and this is like a huge point to die into. Like you don't want to be dying during like the 15-minute mark, because later on you're gonna want to group, get kills. I know you got a Shadow Blade, so you're gonna want to be a little more aggressive. So the first like 15 minutes is where you're gonna get a crazy amount of farm. Like Troll Warlord can get 10 creeps a minute by like the 10-minute mark. That's how quickly he farms these camps in the lane. Which is something you didn't see in pubs a lot, but I had a few friends who like played a little competitive, and he would always practice like farming patterns and stuff. He's like, dude, Troll Warlord's ridiculous. Like, not only is that hero able to like man up and destroy people, but he can farm like a motherfucker too. Which people just, they're like, oh, he can just man up with no items. But yeah, then when he has items, he's like 10 times more terrifying. Like the way I'd beat him on an anti-mage is like out farming him, getting like a butterfly, an MKB, and a basher when he's at like an SNY or something, because I'm so much more efficient at farming. But I ran into a Troll Warlord once who stayed almost on pace with my farm. And then like, if you're on pace with my farm, there's nothing I can do. Like there's no hero who can man fight a Troll Warlord at pretty much any stage of the game, assuming equal farm. Like, that's not how you have to approach handling a Troll Warlord. So, like, obviously, like, when possible, lane farm is preferential. This is still a time where you probably would prefer to be top. If your supports are somewhat, like, constructive, what you really want is to get them to put a ward here. This ward's amazing. People who put the ward here are dicks. That ward does nothing. Sometimes they put a ward here, which blocks your camp, which is really fucking irritating. I have that happen all the time. A support was like, here, let me get you a ward. Drop it right here. Blocks my fucking hard camp. Loses me 250 gold a minute. Really annoying. This ward sees TPs in. It'll see people rotating from here very often. And like when you see that, you'll just back up to the woods. You'll go to this camp. Then you'll go into here until the enemy is gone. And then you'll come back to lane. Like, maybe they'll take the tower, and then your team can show up to fight, and you can try and defend the tower. But the point is, like, your farm's not slowed because you just leave. You don't just sit in the lane and try and stay safe and not die. You go somewhere else in your farm. You gotta be as efficient as humanly possible, like the first 15 minutes or so, where you aren't necessarily grouping up. But cool, you get a kill. Like, that was just an LC. I was giving an example of, like, rotations that could happen. Yeah, so if this guy put a ward here, he'd be your hero. Because then you're safe to like push this all the way to here, and you'll be pretty fearless. And you could farm this, and you'll know if they're trying to gank you. Combine it with this ward, and like your whole jungle is yours, assuming this tier 1 is still up. So like right now, that farm's kind of low. Your lane wasn't particularly hard. You still don't have a wand either. That's definitely something you want to get. Your lane wasn't particularly hard. You did die a couple of times. Ideally, I'd probably want like 70 CS around 10 minutes. Assuming like you're getting kills in lane and stuff's going on. If like the lane's basically uncontested and you can abuse this, then you want like close to 100 at 10 minutes. It's possible. Like obviously, you know, you're not like a 5k player. You're not going to know the full farming things. But just knowing that you can do that and like getting the habit of trying to farm these camps, you'll figure out the timings just by doing it a lot. And you like know when to bounce back and forth. Just know that you always want to prioritize lane creeps over jungle creeps whenever possible, because they're more efficient to farm. You don't lose HP by farming them, generally speaking. Just run. Just run. Hey, she's an idiot. She probably just got herself killed. I don't think you'll die. But she will. Nope, she makes it. Is it tranquils? No. Oh. That's weird. The zombies just didn't slow her as much as I thought they would. Shoot that LSA. She was dead. I don't know if she was ever really in range for it though. But yeah, so this is the point where you want to just be blowing shit away. Like if they're... Sorry, if they were like contesting your farm, you only want to come here and deal with them if rest of your team's here to get you kills and then take objectives. Besides that, just retreat farther into the woods. That's all you gotta do. Like pretty much any hero except like a Spectre can do that, because Spectre fucking has no jungle farming potential at all. Any other hero can pretty much retreat into the jungle if they're having an issue. The one issue with the Shadowblade, and I think one of the reasons people started foregoing it in 6.83, is dumbest hero in Dota. Fucking 1.0 in game. Every time you use the Shadowblade to go do something, it's like 75 mana to activate that. That's 25% of your mana pool. And then when you get on someone, you want to combo them. So you're going to use Whirling Axes and you're going to use Battle Trance, which is half your mana pool, a little over half your mana pool, which is not very, it's not very efficient. So I think a lot of people preferred like the SNY because you can still like contribute in fights. It gives you more HP, lets you man up on people a little better, and helps you farm, increases your move speed. Does a lot without the mana cost, and gives you like more damage and stuff, and move speed overall, not just when you have the active up. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with the Shadowblade, just if you get it, you probably want to get like a bottle or something. Like combo with a bottle, that way like you're in their woods, you're farming, you're getting kills, get the rune, and then keep rinsing and repeating. You can't blind these creeps. You can only blind the little shits, so that was kind of scary. Yeah, you can't really do Ancients too well. Actually, I guess you had a Helm with Dom. I thought that would have went better, but just so I know. The poor Man Shield probably would have went a little better. Was I just looking at that wrong, or were you just staring at nothing? Okay, yeah, like when you see people like this and you're not doing anything, because I think at this point you're like going back to base. Oh, never mind. Okay, that's the wrong point in that replay. Alright, perfect. I was gonna say, you want to be clicking there, you want to be ready to get like the TP off and come to this fight. And since you had to go back to base and heal before that, you want to click their heroes, see their items, and like understand the threats against you. Like right now, what do we got? Silencer. These nukes are kind of scary for you. Anti-mage is worthless. Lina nukes are pretty scary. She doesn't have any items. He's got a blink. So I think he was just really out of position there, if I'm not mistaken. The LC shouldn't have. Chelsea's like too low to be here, he's not a threat. She TP'd out. They need to like leave right now. As soon as they see a TP. Okay, never mind, you Shadowblade from. No, it was someone else. That was a gyro. As soon as they saw your TP come in, they had to get the fuck out. That was them overstaying their welcome. I'm like, that's good, you're punishing bad play, but if they don't leave you that opening, they need to be in kind of trouble. Back to your Ancients. Like right now, you just killed all of them. This is a huge problem. You went to go clear an Ancient stack, and that's swell and all, but you know what happened last time you were here. You got fucked up. You lost like all your HP and had to go back to base. Right now, they're all dead. God damn it, this fucking thing. They're all dead. You could have taken this tower with your gyro. Now they can feel comfortable like respawning to him. He's about to die. If you were there, he wouldn't be dead because you could have blinded this guy and then manned up on him. The rest of your team should have been there too. This gyro should not have been here alone. You could have taken this, backed up, and taken Roshan since you have the Helm of Dom. You guys could have easily came back and did this. Instead, you fed your gyro, didn't take an objective, you went for your Ancient stack, and died. What the hell did I miss? Okay, before I even saw it, I told you. You weren't able to do the Ancient stack last time, and it was only a 2 stack. This was a 3 stack, and you tried manning up on it without any change in your items. So this was like an inevitability, and you died to this. That is a huge blunder. Because now, like, not only did you fail to take this objective, fail to get kills, let your gyrocopter die, and didn't take Roshan, but then you died to an Ancient stack that you failed to kill, and now you're dead for X amount of time. The amount of things wrong with that. Like, that wasn't even me speaking a lot. That was just, like, so many things that were bad. Because, like, if you had an Aegis right there, your next death would result in them getting team wiped and them losing more objectives. So that's, like, a huge blunder. And like, yeah, you end up destroying it this game, but like little mistakes like that, like I think the dual death was preventable. I think the first death I won't fault you for, but that death to Ancients, losing objectives, not getting Roshan, and you keep going back to these Ancients. Like you clearly can efficiently farm these. Now you've sat here for like the past like 3 minutes, like really hell bent on farming these. And you could have farmed out your whole woods and everything. Like, maybe come back to this when you have an S and Y or something, or like your next item. And now you're not at a team fight either. Like, you have the Shadow Blade, you should be like hunting their woods, being really aggressive in this area. And if you had that tower dead, that would increase your ability to do that. If you had this tower dead, that opens up their whole woods. That's why taking these towers are really important. Because, like, if you take this tower, boom, you could Shadow Blade and run in there. Take this tower, you know they're not going to be right here, and their creep wave could even get back to this point, and then they're super scared from all the way over to here. Like, if you take this, they can only feel safe, like, at this hard camp or creeping at their tower if you get them blind over to here. Like, if my tower is here and here up, I'm going to feel pretty comfortable, and then here and here, I'll feel comfortable here. If I get this ward up, I'm feeling pretty comfortable in these camps. Like, killing a safe lane tier 1 is, like, a really big deal. So, yeah, like that should have been dead like 5 minutes ago. Should have taken Roshan. Many problems right now. Just getting a kill there, that's unfortunate. Yeah, the thing with the anti-mage is like he can just run from you until he's ready to fight you. So a smart anti-mage will not die to you, barring like your team chain stunning and like jumping him, and then you getting really lucky with your bashes. Yeah, right now you should have a BKB, by the way. Like, you probably wanted a BKB before this MKB. Like, let's look at their team, and let's think about what's gonna kill you. So you're a Troll Warlord, you're a pretty squishy guy, you got 1200 HP. If you can man up on someone, they get destroyed. You got a Silencer who's gonna global ult you, prevent you from using your abilities. That's the problem. His magic nukes hurt like a motherfucker. This thing's like 300 damage. If it goes through, it's a pretty decent slow. This thing hurts like a bitch too. Even like now, it's pretty annoying. It's probably like an extra like 40 damage or something like that. Crystal Silent. He probably won't be affected by that for too long, but it's still annoying. She's the big one. This is 320. Wow, that really got hit hard. 520, 650. It's 1100 damage. It's almost your whole HP pool before resistances. After resistances, it's probably like 75% your HP pool. She doesn't have an Aghanim, so like that's not scary. So if you had, how much gold do you have right now? You could have easily had a BKB right now. And like the BKB means you man up on her and you kill her. This guy, when he was killing your teammate, and you backed away because he was blade mailed. Boom, that guy's fucking dead. Your teammate's saved. Him, you're not gonna take his blade mail damage. I don't think he gets slowed. Oh no, I guess it does. Pierce the spell immunity, huh? I guess their slow does pierce it. But you won't get hurt by the soul rip or the decays, which will lower your strength even further. A really big mistake you can make is overlooking a BKB when you need it. Because like not dying to this team without your BKB requires like you jumping in after the fight's already going. If you can just run in when the fight's going and be not scared for that 10 seconds of magic immunity, then fucking do it. Because like right now you have to wait until they blow their nukes, then you can like run in and man up on someone. But that 10 seconds of magic immunity means he can duel you and die. She can't do anything except use her shit right clicks on you. He's pretty much useless. Anti-mage can't mana burn you. And if he can't do that, he's useless. This guy can't decay you and lower your strength. The only thing that can hurt you is like a duel, and if he duels you, he loses. I'm gonna stand by that. I'm pretty sure he'd lose the duel, even with all that damage stolen. I'm pretty confident he loses. Never underestimate a Troll Warlord. That'll be your downfall every time. 9 out of 10 times, I'll say. So maybe you couldn't have saved your teammate there now that I looked at it, but you definitely could have killed that guy. So like this MKB, like what's the point in even getting it? None of them have evasion. There's no reason to rush that. Some of them might, like the AM's gonna get evasion, but like if I saw you get an MKB, like rush an MKB like you are, I don't even care that you're doing well here, it doesn't matter. If I see you rushing MKB, I'm not gonna buy a butterfly, I'll buy an assault cuirass. Or I'll skip it, or I'll skip a butterfly and get a faster abyssal and a faster MKB. Doesn't really matter. I mean, like I want a butterfly, it would be nice, but if you already have an MKB, what do I need a butterfly for? This guy is a natural MKB carrier. If you already have it, then there's no reason for me to get a butterfly. So you just bought an item that you really want as a counter most of the time, with the exceptions like a gyrocopter. Like you bought an item that's a counter to something he might buy in the future. And like, yeah, if he hit that timing without you having it, it might be kind of annoying. But he still needs like an MKB and like a basher to still man fight you. Even if he has the butterfly. The butterfly just makes him almost even with the evasion that, or the mischance that you're doing on him. Not even, it's 60 versus like 35. It's not anywhere near as good. Yeah, he's like far behind. So like that itemization and that crit probably hurts you. Like you need a BKB so bad. If you have a BKB, I don't see how you die until she has an Aghanim's. And then once she has an Aghanim's, you need the Satanic. Because you just need to stack HP. Like Scotty's Satanic, there's no reason not to get it. Like the Sky Satanic gets you like 3k HP. It lets you ignore her and lets you win duels and lets you regen and just be complete monster in fights. Like they have to run from you when you BKB. Which some of them can, but you're gonna catch like a silencer is slow. If one of you guys catches a stun on anyone, they're dead. And there's nothing their team can do to help them. They just die. So, okay, you're getting the BKB now, but it's like far too late. Like, you're still at 1800 HP. This Lena's probably level 16. Yeah, she's level 16 with an axe. She's gonna nuke away half your HP with one ability. And you have no real way to regen it. So like instead of this, if you had a BKB before your Monkey King bar, you would have been able to do more in that fight. You probably wouldn't have died. Well, actually, you didn't die there, so I'm sorry. I was wrong about that. Yeah, and instead of that, you could have gotten like a Scotty. Like you're not hurting for damage really. Well, obviously you have damage right now, but like your ability to man up and chain stun people and prevent them from escaping you is going to do enough damage. You don't necessarily need to rush pure damage like this to where you're turning yourself into a glass cannon. It's not a stellar idea, particularly against such a nuke heavy lineup. Like that's probably not necessarily bad to go like that. Like let's say they're all magical damage, which their team isn't necessarily, like because the Lena nuke and like they do have a few physical damage heroes. If they only had like magical damage, then you could probably get like BKB and then go pure damage without building stacking HP, but they have too much like pure damage and like physical damage that can really just put the hurt on you. Yeah, I don't think you would have died there if you had a BKB either. Like relying on the Shadow Blade to save you when you do dumb stuff is horrible. Let's even look back at that and see why you were there. Because I feel like you overstayed your welcome here. Your team's dead, the Lena's up. Yeah, they have 4 people up when you're here. Like you want to fight, you take this tower, that's awesome. They're all back up. You get the fuck out. You can't, like this is classic just overstaying your welcome. Your team's already hanging on by a thread because you're the only one really doing shit, right? They're all back up. As soon as they're all almost back up, you get out. Let's see. Okay, they're actually all up this whole time. There's not even... Yeah, you're just able to take this tower while they're all up doing other stuff. Okay. I think I assumed that was like a more one team fight or something like that. So yeah, like you can trade like this. Like your team's dead. I guess fighting is pretty awkward, particularly since you don't have the BKB. So trading this is fine. But you gotta keep an eye on what they're doing. So you're taking this. Like you're able to trade. Like obviously it's not ideal, but as soon as you see them TPing back, you need to leave. Because if you... Oh, you don't even have a TP scroll. You can't not have a TP scroll. Oh no, you boots travel, I'm sorry. I don't know when you got those, but... Like as soon as they TP'd back, let's look at what happened. Like they're gonna TP back. Their team's choosing to overstay their welcome. Like, what are they doing here? You can kill a silencer, you can kill the Undying effortlessly. With another stun, you can kill that guy. Could have saved your Leshrac. You could have gotten 3 kills here, saved your teammates, and not died. So choosing not to come back there, huge mistake. Well, I guess your travels were on cooldown, but still, you should have backed up at the very least. I think you must have used the travels to go split push when your team lost the fight, which might have been a good decision. But then you still have to just back out and farm their woods after they TP back, because you can't get caught. You can't die, because then your team lost this for like no real reason. Just really bad. Because like the few times you died, the last 3 hurt your momentum. So like the first death, we excused. Remember, it was like the Lena. Maybe we knew, maybe we didn't. The second one was you hanging around when they're offlane with their offlane LC with his ult was up, and their core Lena, who's like a mid and super leveled, is also here. You stuck around and got picked there. That was really bad. Third death was to the Ancients instead of taking the objectives and killing Roshan. You died to the Ancients. That was really bad. That would have been like game winning. Like this was a huge fight to win. You take this objective, huge objective for how you should be playing with the Shadow Blade, which you weren't utilizing properly, which I forgot to emphasize. Instead, you go back here and die. And because opening up that woods is just like huge, absolutely enormous. At this point, the game is like really kind of out of your control. Like you almost like you're getting a lot of kills, yeah. But like when you're trying to solo carry a game, when your team's playing like shit, like this Leshrac is fucking garbage. This guy we know is an idiot because of his skill build earlier. It's a mid pudge, you know he's not gonna do anything. Was it mid pudge? Oh, it had to have been a mid pudge. I don't know what this gyro was doing. Your gyro's poor, because I guess he was offlaning with like the Lesh. Maybe that was support Lesh actually. I'll take back my shit talk. I don't remember the lanes right now, so sorry about that. Okay, no, it's definitely a mid pudge, and there was an offlane dual lane thing. But yeah, like when your team is so incompetent, like every mistake you make is a game losing. Like there's times where you're like, oh, my team sucked. In this game, like, yeah, if your team played better, you probably won. But also, if you played better, you probably won. And since you can't control how bad they're being, all you can account for is you. At this point, I don't think it really matters. You're kind of like too far behind right now. Again, you don't have the items to handle the Lina ult, and like everything they can throw at you is just hugely problematic. Like even if you get more kills, it doesn't really matter. It's because they should always be able to. They should be able to out trade you. Like the AM should be able to out split push you. And in team fights, they just have too many things to like control and kill you at this point because you didn't snowball enough. Like you didn't use the Shadow Blade properly, didn't get the objectives. Like, sorry to like keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's kind of like the main issues. Your deaths at this point don't really matter, so I'm not even really looking. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that was clear. Like I said, I'm not the best troll warlord. I think if you get the Shadow Blade, you need a bottle. So the way you should have been playing is like in their woods. Just do a quick recap. So if you're gonna get the Shadow Blade, I think you want a bottle so you can get runes and like stay more active. Otherwise, you'll have to go back after every kill and a half, something like that. So you want to play more active in their woods. Make sure you get these towers dead quicker when you can, because that opens up their woods a little more. And then you farm their woods and just play super aggro and just take away all their space. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a low tier game, so the Shadow Blade's really strong, but yeah, besides that, you know, you just have to have a focus on objectives and awareness of like what's going on at times. Because like you should have known you overstayed your welcome here, and if you, I know you couldn't have TP'd back, but at the very least you could have backed up, jungled, or maybe taken Roshan. Since you lost this already, there wasn't much you could do. And then I think towards the tail end of it, your TP came up, so maybe there would have been an opportunity. I mean, we don't know at this point, so. Cool. I think that about sums this up. I don't think we're gonna see anything else. I mean, we know you lose this game. We know you end the game with like a really nice KDA. But in any game where like you're like, oh, I did it so well. If you look over it, you can usually think and see where you screwed up if you're a little critical. Like in my games, I can play a good game. Like there's just to reflect on a game. I played a game as anti-mage against the Tidehunter. So I was 1v1 AM versus a Tidehunter. Which should be a doable matchup. Like I should actually just destroy a Tidehunter. I'm just gonna share this anecdote when this video's over, so whatever. So I was 1v1 against a Tidehunter. I was like Radiant, safe lane AM, and there was a change to Tidehunter where they kept increasing the power of his Kraken shell. And I'm gonna say it was two variables. It was one, I think this Tidehunter was better than the last Tidehunter I 1v1, and like 1v1s don't come along so often where you should be super familiar with them. And I destroyed that Tidehunter in a 1v1, had like 70, 80 creeps at like 10 minutes and kept his mana at nothing. So this Tidehunter, I over-harassed him and like couldn't get good trades, and I kept missing bad creeps, or like creeps I should have easily hit, and it made me have to keep ferrying myself regen, because when we're in creep waves and I'm trading him, his Kraken shell was letting him out-trade me like really, really heavily in these creep waves. Even though I had a poor man shield, it didn't matter, because he's, I think it's like a 45 or like a 50 block now. It's like really high. It's at least 40 at like the max level. So him doing that meant like I couldn't trade with him, because Poor Man's Shield got nerfed and his shit got upped. And I think the last time I did it, not Poor Man's Shield, Stout Shield was nerfed. And the last time I did that matchup, Stout Shield was stronger and his Kraken was worse. So it was like, it's like one of those. And then I think my opponent in that game was better. So it ends up at like 10 minutes. Like, I'm super behind. I've got like 40 creeps, and this Tide Hunter was doing pretty well. Then like I end up like stepping it up, and I play a really good mid game and like push really hard, get a lot of creeps. I'm almost at 10 CS a minute or something like that, or I'm in that area, and my team's just feeding like crazy. So I'm left in a 1v1, and my team should have advantage elsewhere, and they're not. They're losing. But I should have won my lane super hard, so that's my fault. I know I should have won that. And then I'm playing really well, and then I do something stupid and I die. Like I think we just wiped their team really hard. I didn't see the Tide Hunter bought an Orchid because that's just fucking weird. And I like blinked over here to do something greedy. Saw the Tide Hunter, didn't acknowledge him as a kill threat because there's like a Tide Hunter and like Avenge or something. And I didn't acknowledge him as a kill threat because it's a fucking Tide Hunter. Like, what is he gonna do? They have one stun and maybe a Ravage between them. That's not enough to kill an AM with. I didn't have a Manta yet because the Orchid killed me. I think I was like 100 gold from the Manta, and I was like, whatever, I'll go farm their Ancients because I'm being super greedy and I'm super far ahead right now. And I just get fucking caught and just die. And like that's when we lose the game because now my momentum has been stopped. So I can say like, oh, I was doing so well and my team just couldn't pick up the slack. And which was true to an extent, just like in this game. Like you were doing so well and your team couldn't pick up the slack. But the point is, both of us could have played better. I should have won my lane way harder. I played over aggro, got really inefficient trades with the Tide Hunter, lost my lane. I didn't die or anything, but I didn't get the farm I should have. I should have had twice the farm. I should have been able to harass him more. Should have denied more of his creeps. There's many things I should have been able to do in that lane that I didn't do properly. And then I made a sloppy move here, and because I didn't perform well in my lane, that sloppy move resulted in me dying. Like imagine if I had a good lane and then that game went to shit the way it did. Well, I had a good lane now, so if I barely lost the game because of one maneuver here, if I destroyed my lane with twice the CS, had my Battle Fury 3 minutes sooner, that's a completely different game. That's a game I win. And that's just how you have to look at things. Like, what can you do? And in this game, there's definitely things you could have do to win, as we went over. There were a few needless deaths, a few bad decisions, the constant trying to farm the Ancients when you had proved to yourself time and time again that your hero wasn't able to at that time. Huge problems. So yeah, that about sums it up. I hope that helps. Sorry if it was a quicker video and I couldn't give too many hero-specific tips. Like I said, I don't play a lot of Troll Warlord, but I think the general advice is pretty good in this one, just because there were some errors that you might not necessarily be able to see if you haven't played like 3,500 games like I have. So, alright, well, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope this helped out a lot. I'm going to go do some math.